All right, everybody, welcome back to the OffBeat Sports Podcast powered by PSGO Sporting Goods. Today we're joined by Nolan Hughes again, as he's going to talk with us about some NBA and just sports things going forward. So we're happy to have him. And yeah, let's get started.
All right, we're going to start in the Western Conference with the Rockets versus Thunder series. Rockets being the 4 seed, Thunder being the 5 seed. I got the Rockets taking this series in 7, even with Westbrook out the first couple of the few games. I think they're still a better team, so I think they're going to take that with their small ball lineup.
I'm also going to take the Rockets. I'm going to take them in 6. I think it'll be a hard-fought series, but, James Harden, best player on the court. I think that'll speak for itself, and I think the Rockets will win.
I'm going to go Thunder in 7 games. I just think that they have the better coach, and I think that the way that they play really fits their team. Like, I understand that the Rockets are small ball, but I just think that the Thunder can take advantage of that with, just their height and their size at the 4 and the 5 with Danilo and Steven Adams. So,
all right, players to watch, obviously, James Harden, which I think we can all agree on.
James Harden, he's going to be the guy. He's going to be the spotlight.
He's just a straight killer. It's not even a question. But I think in this series, Steven Adams, he's either going to make or break it because he against their small ball lineup, he's either going to kill them or he's going to get beat a lot by their speed. So I think that's a make or break. What do you think?
Are they still running Robert Covington as their center?
No, it's PJ Tucker.
PJ Tucker now? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I think that the player to watch for me would just be Shea because he's going to be matched up with Harden, and it's really going to be interesting to see how he handles that, especially in a spot like, in the playoffs. I think it's going to be really interesting for him. Obviously, it's not his first year in the league, but I think this is like his biggest task to this point. Especially being in the bubble with the whole different scenario. So him and I'd say Gallinari just because, he's always been, just decent, but I think he can definitely exploit the fact that he's a great scorer and they're very just like small, just like give and go. They just run up the court and they shoot.
He's a very versatile big.
Yeah, so I think, those 2 players for me are very important for the series.
I'm going to be watching a lot of Eric Gordon. I want to see him really step up, and I think that if he can complement James Harden the way he's supposed to and be consistent from 3, I think that'll be a huge X factor. And also Austin Rivers, I think he could play a significant role as well.
I didn't think about Austin Rivers.
Austin Rivers
he's kind of like my sleeper player of the series, so to say.
Yeah, so we can go on to the next one.
Fun fact, I have his rookie card from
New
Orleans.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you ask? I didn't ask.
I didn't.
Well, they asked.
I don't think they asked either. All right. All right. Let's go on to our next one. We got the 3 seed Nuggets taking on the 6 seed Jazz. I got the Nuggets in 6. I just think Nuggets are overall better team, but I think the Jazz will put up a fight. Rudy Gobert, Defensive Player of the Year, last 2 years. I think Marcus Smart should be the Defensive Player of the Year. Don't get me started. Yeah, but no, I think they'll take a couple games, but but this one, this will definitely be a series defined by Jokic versus Gobert. So
no.
I'm also going to take Denver in 6. I think Bull's been a great addition to the team, and I think he's, adding, huge parts like defensively, offensively, just his length, being a presence, like in the paint, he can contest pretty much any shot from anybody. And, he can run the floor really well. So I think that's a great addition to the Denver Nuggets team. And, yeah, I think they'll pull away.
I mean, as much as I want to oppose you guys, I picked the Nuggets in this series.
He wants to oppose us.
I'm going to go Nuggets in 5. I'm really confident in this team. I think, Jokic, I think he's the best center in the league. You could argue Embiid.
I agree. No,
but I think Jokic. I haven't seen as much of like slender Jokic, but like I know he's just an amazing talent. So, and I think Jamal Murray is going to really step up for them. He's had a really good year. And I think Gary Harris is a huge what if because he's always been able to score the ball, but he's had an off year. So for that reason, I take Nuggets in 5. Plus, I just think their bench is better. They have Will Barton, Michael Porter Jr., Bull.
Actually,
they have a really
Michael Porter Jr. is my player to watch in this series. I think I don't think the Jazz have anyone to stop him. They really don't. They don't have a player.
Who is their starting small forward? Probably Joe Ingles, right?
Yeah. He's not the
sure
guy as hell not going to stop Michael Porter Jr.
And I mean, like Joe Ingles is good, but I think if
he's got that lefty gene.
If I had to pick a player specifically to watch in this series on either side, I think it's going to be Mike Conley because he's been really, really disappointing this year on the Jazz, but he's always kind of been like that consistent player in Memphis where you're like, he's always been just that guy that's been consistent. Like
I wouldn't say he's had a disappointing year, but yeah.
Well, no,
obviously
for what
he's
he's been for what he makes
Yeah.
for money, he's been really disappointing. For what they thought they were
I
gonna be
wouldn't
getting
have him
him.
as like I would say it's interesting to see how I wouldn't
I
say
think-
he's a player to watch for something
I'm
good.
just thinking for either team if you had to
See
pick
if
a
he
player.
I'm
saying for one
he
for each team.
outperforms what he usually does.
That's what I meant. Like he
Yeah.
needs to have a good series if they want to compete.
Yeah.
So for them, I'd say Mike Conley, and then if I had to pick one for the Nuggets, I'm gonna have to go with Gary Harris because Jamal Murray is gonna put up points. Jokic is gonna be a playmaker. It's really just about if Gary Harris can take advantage of his opportunities. So,
I think I agree. I
he's
like
always
Gary
been
Harris as a
good, but
player.
he's had an
Yeah.
off year. So I think it's up to
Yeah.
him to kind of step it up.
I think this series overall, I think this is a great chance for Donovan Mitchell to really emerge himself as a star. I think if he really comes up and steps up to the plate and really plays well and finds a way to beat the Nuggets, I think that'd speak volumes for his game.
That's actually a very good point.
Yeah, like this could make him some money in the future if he finds a way to clutch up.
Or at least bring this game to the series to 7. That'd be
Yeah.
impressive. But yeah, we'll go on to our next matchup. So we got Clippers, Mavs. Clippers obviously being the 2 seed, 7 seed being the Mavs. I got Clippers in 6. As good as I think Luka Doncic is, I think the Clippers are just way too dominant for the series.
I'm going to be taking the Clippers in 5. I think Luka Doncic will, be competitive, leading the Mavericks. I think it'll be a lot of close games, but I think, Kawhi's got that killer instinct along with Paul George. They just know how to win ball games.
I had 6.
I have 5.
Yeah, I think I'll go. You can go after, but I think the Western Conference is like better than the Eastern. So most of my Western Conference are going more like 6 or 7. So because just how dominant the Western Conference is, like the Mavs, I when I saw they were the 7 seed, I actually was talking to Nolan before. Like I was surprised. I was like, they're the 7, because they're a good team.
The West has been great this year. Though.
Yeah.
Every team that's made the West is very deserving of it. Even the Memphis Grizzlies that got knocked out today.
Yeah, they
were a good team this year.
The Bubble
Shopper.
Suns. I want to see the Bubble Suns make the playoffs.
That would have been awesome, man.
Yeah, I just say
Everyone was a Nets fan
Yeah,
that
let's
night.
go back. What's your take?
So I'm gonna have to go. Obviously, I'm gonna have to go Clippers in this just because they're just such a well-rounded, talented team. I'm gonna go 6 like you did, Cross. But I think it could go either way. It could make 7. Really,
or it
it's
could go
not.
5. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really dependent on what happens with the Mavericks. Really, I don't think it's really dependent on the Clippers just because they have so much, talent on that team that they can just score points at will if they really want to. And especially when you have Lou Williams coming off the bench, people sometimes forget about that. But, I think Clippers I'm gonna go Clippers in 6. If I had to pick a player to watch, I'd say for me it's probably Montrezl Harrell, just because he's going to be going up against Kristaps Porzingis for the most part down low, and I think it's going to be interesting because Kristaps is a very different style of play than him, so it's going to be interesting to see how he adjusts to that. And I also say Jalen Brunson, which is interesting, but if you think about it, when you have Paul George playing the 2, and they're going to be focusing a lot on Luka, so hopefully Jalen Brunson can take advantage of the fact that no one's going to really be paying attention to him, but he's put up some good, scoring games this year. So
I'm going to go the other way on the Montrezl. I'm going Kristaps Porzingis as my player to watch because I think the only way the Mavs have
a
success in
chance
this series if it's Kristaps, because we know Luka's going to do his thing. If Kristaps can put up some points and put up some numbers, I think the Mavs actually could bring.
Well, I'm just relying
to
on
a 7-game
Porzingis to
series.
beat himself. So
Yeah, but honestly, because he's just a hit or miss.
He hasn't been the same since his injury. It's been very clear.
Personally, I say forget player to watch. I think coach to watch is Doc Rivers. He hasn't had this much talent since his days with the Celtics. I think he's got a legit chance. He's got a contending team. I want to see if he still can put the pieces together and bring another championship to his resume.
Yeah.
Can I say what about Lob City?
No, that doesn't.
No.
Lob
City had no chance.
I'm talking about talent. You said no
that talent did not compare
They
to the
couldn't
Celtics or this current day Clippers.
They couldn't win playoff series.
I'm just saying,
They're for show. They're all show.
I'm just saying talent-wise, that's all. I wasn't arguing the winning or not.
No, but he never had that killer Kawhi. He never had Paul George. These guys.
Yeah, he didn't have
legit.
those star caliber
star
players.
power. Yeah,
Blake Griffin can't bring you a championship. So
they thought he could.
Yeah, they thought he could.
Yeah, no, not a chance.
They're wrong.
So now we got what? Lakers,
Yeah, so
Lakers?
we're gonna go Lakers, Blake. All right, I know he definitely disagreed with me before, but I say this could be like an upset, but I'm gonna go with the Lakers because just LeBron and Davis. LeBron's not gonna lose the series, I don't think, but I think it's gonna go to 7 games or 6 at least, because the Blazers are just on such a roll right now, and they always put up a pretty good fight against the Lakers, and I think Dame's just like
Everyone already forgets.
Dame
I
has
didn't mean
way
to
too
interrupt
way too of killer room on site right now.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but everyone already forgets the Blazers made the Western Conference Finals last year. Like, they're a really good team last year. They just kind of had an off year, like, in some standards, even though they're in the playoffs.
Did they play the Warriors?
They played the Warriors.
Yeah,
last year.
who aren't in the playoffs this year.
They beat Denver.
Tough.
They got
They had a really good playoff run last year, and I think they brought most of their team back, and they have Yusuf Nurkic back now, which I think is really beneficial to them. So I have to agree with you. I still think Lakers in 7. But it could totally go with Damian Lillard, with Dame,
deep series.
With Nolan.
You guys,
with
Dame,
let's hear what he has.
No, I say, I mean, maybe Dame can get like a game, but I'm thinking Lakers in 5 for sure. You know, I think Dame.
He put up 61.
Damian Lillard is like the only legit player on that team.
CJ
McCollum's good. Dame's the only killer on that team. He's not going to get past LeBron.
Nurkic had 21.
Davis.
Nurkic had 21 points and 22 rebounds today.
Yeah, they have a solid team, but Dame's the only legit player, I believe.
They have Melo.
Melo's overrated. He's washed.
Dude,
He hits one clutch shot. He hits one clutch shot.
He's been filthy.
And now he's back. Now he's back to his Denver days.
He's not Denver days.
Denver Melo.
That's what everyone else is saying.
He's been a good fourth option for them.
You could call him third because I wouldn't say you could.
No, he's good. He's good. The only player I take seriously, and if I was the Lakers, the only player I would worry about is Damian Lillard.
Okay, that's how you lose because then you lose CJ McCollum, Carmelo Anthony, and
I wouldn't worry about them.
All right, well, when Yusuf Nurkic is busy dunking all over friggin' Dwight
Howard.
who?
Dwight Howard? Dwight Howard. He will bully.
He's not playing.
If Dwight Howard was playing, he'd bully him. Who do you want? Anthony Davis? Anthony Davis, no chance. No chance.
You're a moron.
I'm not a moron. I'm not you.
Okay, I just said Dwight Howard, which makes you sound stupid.
Welcome to the show, Nolan.
Me and Cross are agreeing.
I'm not hopping on this Blazers hype train. I think they'll maybe
Blazers
get a game.
Train.
They'll get
How
a
many
game.
points did you put him in 3 games? 150. Oh, that's right.
You got the bubble MVP is rolling right now with the Lakers.
Bubble MVP will ball out. He'll do
the Lakers are
he'll do his because they already had the 1 seed wrapped
fine.
up.
Dion Waiters.
They were 1 seed wrapped up.
They were playing everybody.
They had nothing to play for.
Dion Waiters and J.R. Smith are going to carry them.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, right.
Oh, God. All right.
No, I'm not a believer in the Blazers. I can't believe you guys are saying 7 games. They might get a game. I don't think.
Dion Waiters and J.R. are on the Lakers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we'll make it back.
And
never mind.
All right, ready?
5 games.
We'll go to the Eastern Conference.
Give them 5.
We'll go to the Eastern Conference. Let's cool this conversation.
Let's just make it so everyone understands. We're doing the Celtics last, so if you think we're skipping them or not.
Yeah. All right, ready? We're going the 4 seed Pacers, which I also was surprised about. Versus the 5 seed Heat. I got the Heat in 5. I think T.J. Warren is cooling down, and especially I don't know. I think that he's cooling down, and the Heat will win this series. Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero. Duncan Robinson, who's been shooting like crazy.
And then you have Goran Dragic too.
Yeah, no, don't even. That's not even. All right, you go.
I'm going to be taking Miami in 6 here. You know, I think T.J. Warren, I think he'll show up to play. I think he's going to continue to do his thing. But I think Jimmy Butler and his crew around him, I think it'll just be too much for the Pacers to handle. So I'm taking them in 6.
I don't know. It's so tough because both teams are really good and they have, distributed talent across their starting 5. I'm going to go Heat. I'm going to go Heat in 7. I think it's going to be a really interesting series because I think you have Malcolm Brogdon. And
that wouldn't be my player to watch.
No, it's not my player to watch.
You know what? No, I'll give my matchup to watch. T.J. Warren versus Jimmy Butler.
No, I know.
I have my popcorn ready.
I'm not even done.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
I'm just saying that Malcolm Brogdon's a really good player, and he's someone that nobody thinks about in that series because you just don't. When you think about the guards of the,
you wouldn't think about him if he never won Rookie of the Year.
He's a really good player.
No, he's not.
He's
overrated.
Really good. He's not really good. He's a solid.
First of all, Embiid should have won Rookie of the Year when it was Malcolm
player.
Brogdon. But because Embiid only played like 20 games that year, he didn't win.
Okay, but
Malcolm Brogdon is overrated.
He hasn't been very good.
I still said
he hasn't done anything.
I said Heat in 7, so shut up.
He's not a player to watch, though.
I didn't say he was my player to watch.
That's what you said.
That's what you said.
I just said someone on their team that I like. I didn't say he's my player to watch.
You said to watch.
All right,
let's run back to footage.
Run it back.
All right, whatever.
All right, players to watch. T.J. Warren, Jimmy Butler clashing. Hey, this is a kids show.
That was this finger.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh.
All right, Nolan.
Player to watch. I'm going to say Tyler Hero. I know he's a rookie, but I think he's been balling out this year, and I think he can really take the Heat over the top.
No, no. My player to watch is probably Domantas Sabonis because I'm interested to see how he plays in this series. Yeah, against Bam. Well, I think Bam is Miles Turner playing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He is?
Yeah, so I think it's going to be interesting either way. I mean, obviously you could say Bam's going to match up against Miles Turner, but I think it's going to be all-star on all-star as far as big men go with Bam and Domantas Sabonis. So that's definitely my player to watch on that side. And the other side's Bam because it's about how he responds. And he's been really good for them this year, but I'm interested to see how he plays in the playoffs under pressure.
Celtics.
He's been really good this year overall, so I'm going to see how he plays under pressure and when it's really needed. So
yeah,
I'd say this is probably going to be the most entertaining and most evenly matched up series of the first round. I'd say.
Celtics is going to be the most entertaining because
no, I don't think no. All right,
we'll get to that.
We'll get that later, but I don't think
to the end.
All right, we'll skip the Celtics Sixers series. We'll go Raptors Nets. Raptors in 5 because Karis LeVert's going to have one good game and get them one game, but the Raptors are easily the better team, and they've been pretty good in the bubble other than their game against the Celtics.
I'm going to be taking the Raptors in 6. I think they got, the championship experience. Obviously, they don't have Kawhi anymore, but I don't really think that really matters. They still balled out this year. I just don't think Brooklyn has enough pieces. If they had Kyrie and Kevin Durant, I think it'd be a completely different story, but obviously they don't have those guys. And so I'm going to be taking.
Oh, really?
I'm going to be taking Toronto. No, it'll be different next year. Obviously.
I mean, I agree with you guys, but I'm going to go Raps at 4. I don't think the Nets have a stand a chance. I don't think anyone on their team has the experience that the Raptors players have. I think that the Raptors have just an overall all around better team.
I agree with that, but I think
I understand your point about Karis because he had that sick game against the Celtics.
Well, he always has those stupid game, one stupid game where he goes off and.
No, I totally understand your point about Karis, but I just don't think that he's enough. I mean, obviously they've outperformed expectations in the bubble, seeing as how little talent they had. But I don't think it's going to matter in the playoffs because I don't think those guys are prepared for a team like Toronto that's coming off a championship, having the best winning percentage year in their franchise history without Kawhi Leonard having him leave. I just think they're on a mission to prove that they didn't.
Nick Nurse is, I would say.
And I'd say they have the coach.
I love Brad, but I think Nick Nurse is probably the best coach in the league.
And so I got to go Raps there. And can I just say my players to watch now since I'm on the topic?
Yeah. Probably argue with you.
So my players to watch in this series, Fred VanVleet. I think he's a really good player. He's just, I think he's just a purely amazing scorer, and I really like watching him play. So it's going to be, if he can take some of the load off of, Kyle Lowry and then some of those other guys they have on that team, I think he's someone to watch. And obviously Karis LeVert. I think, it's really just on his shoulders as far as the Nets go. So if they want to stand a chance, it's really on him. And so, I mean, that's all they really have at this point. So.
Yeah, I think this is straightforward. Just Siakam and Lowry, if they're at the top of it, or they're even at half their games.
I didn't forget about Siakam.
Yeah, they win the series. No, I think they win the series easily if they're at half their games. And I think LeVert also is a player to watch just because he could be the reason they steal a game.
I think this series overall, obviously it's a huge series because it's playoffs, whatever. But I think for Kyle Lowry, I think if he can prove that he can win without the star player and Kawhi Leonard, I think that would speak volumes for his career as overall. And I think maybe
people are still going to find excuses though.
Exactly.
They still have Siakam, so they
still have Siakam, but they don't have Kawhi Leonard.
But Lowry's leadership, he's
always been
overall.
questioned. Yeah.
I think if he can get if he can somehow find a way to get the Raptors to the championship, I think you could argue he could be a Hall of Famer if he just contributes and leads that team and gets them through the Eastern Conference, gets them to the championship. I'm not saying they have to win, but if they even just get there, I think you could argue Kyle Lowry could be a Hall. Could be
if he keeps. But yeah,
if he yeah.
Okay,
I'm not
right. You can make an outside argument. I know he'll probably still have more to prove, but you'll have a legit argument if he can lead this team.
I'm sure he'll have more awards on the line. So
yeah, we'll go into that. But like I said, I think Eastern Conference is fairly cookie cutter series where there's no there's not as much toss up because in the Western Conference the end seeds the 8 and the 7 Mavs and Blazers.
If you threw
those are good teams.
I can say honestly, if you threw the Blazers in any of the other series against any of the other teams, I still think they go to 7 games, which is you don't see that in the Eastern Conference. If you were oh well, Magic Celtics, it's 4 games Celtics. It's not so.
Bringing us to the Bucks Magic, another easy series. Bucks in 4, obviously, because Giannis didn't get his suspension extended into the playoffs because the NBA is soft. But we're not going to go there.
I'm
Bucks
gonna take a sweep of the Bucks as well. I think they're gonna steamroll the Magic. I don't really think it'll be that much of a series.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Bucks in 4.
So
It's not really close for me. I don't dislike the Magic's team, and I mean I'm happy for them for making the playoffs because they blow. So I think my players to watch would be. I'm not even gonna say Giannis because he's just
that doesn't even count.
He's just so easy. Personally, I think Brook Lopez because the center matchup is the only thing that the Magic have. The center thing's the only matchup that the Magic have.
Yeah. Brook Lopez is not a player to watch. He's not going to do anything. He just sits around the 3-point line.
He's the only matchup that they have that the Magic could try to exploit. He's the only one.
But he's not going to do it. Like if he performs well,
okay, you could say the other side too.
He could play like absolute garbage. And it wouldn't matter.
I'm saying you could say the other side too. So it's not.
Yeah, but not just. But Brook Lopez could literally not score a point in the series and they'll still win, and probably 4.
Hey, we're not saying this is going to be like a even matchup here. We're just trying to
But yeah, no, I think my player to watch. I can't even say Giannis because that doesn't even count. But I think Bledsoe's going to be pretty important. He's going against.
Who's the center on the Magic? What's his name again?
Vucevic.
Yeah. That's probably it's him and Brook Lopez just because of the fact that that's the only matchup that can be exploited.
No, that would be probably the most interesting matchup.
No, but
other than whoever
you get what I'm saying?
Yes, but I don't think that's the most interesting matchup. Is what I'm saying. I think Bledsoe and Augustine's going to be the most interesting matchup.
Augustine's good
because they're both average point guards that are pretty good at what they do. So I think that's going to be a battle. Just because
but they're completely opposite players. Augustine's way different than Bledsoe.
Yeah, I know, but they're going against each other, and I think that'll be an interesting matchup to see because neither of them have anything special about them, but they're gonna it's probably gonna be fun to watch because they're probably gonna.
The only reason I'm watching Aaron Gordon is to see if he dunks on anybody.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with an outside opinion. I'm gonna go Terrence Ross. I think
he's gonna dunk on someone.
Yeah, he's a decorated dunker. But no, I think he's a solid player all around. I think he could complement Aaron Gordon and Vucevic's game. I think they could maybe give the Bucks a scare, maybe a game. I don't know. But I think no. I think if Terrence can come out of nowhere, I think he's got
Markelle Fultz.
I think all right. Can I speak now?
No.
No, I think Terrence Ross has that potential to really take over a ball game. But I don't think it'll really show up this series if I'm being honest.
All right, now to
wait. I know I'm interrupting. I have to change it. Markelle Fultz because if he's good, then that's that.
See if he's the number 1 pick that he's.
If he can all perform in the playoffs and show any kind of talent,
do anything. If he can show,
I actually like that.
If he can show any sort of just testicular fortitude in the playoffs,
testicular fortitude
in the playoffs,
what a
to
word.
show that he's
I like
that he can actually play. I think that just helps to prove that a lot of it wasn't him.
Maybe he should have been.
And take some of the load off. You agree with me?
Maybe he should have been a second round pick. He performs decent.
I want to see Fultz's testicular fortitude.
I would love to see his testicular.
Shout out Coach D.
Is that gonna be our new hashtag?
Shout out Coach D for that term.
Should be our new hashtag.
Testicular fortitude.
Shout out Coach D.
That should be the title of this episode.
Testicular fortitude.
All right, let's stop talking about that, and we'll go on to the series we all.
You know who has a lot of that? Marcus Smart.
Oh my
God.
God.
All right, now so now
now to transition to that, Celtics Sixers. Celtics in 5, not just because it's biased, but because Ben Simmons is out. I think this would be a 7-game series with Ben Simmons, but I still would take the Celtics. But I think it's going to be a 5-game because Embiid's technically still kind of hurt, and I think he's not going to be his full self. And Simmons is out for probably he is out for this whole series. So I think this should be a pretty easy series for the Celtics. I don't want to say easy just because the Sixers always give them a fight, but I think it'll be a 5-game.
I'm taking a Celtics sweep here. I don't think the Sixers are going to get a game off of them. Like Cross said, if Ben Simmons was there, I think it'd be a completely different series, but, obviously he's not. So I'm going to be taking the Celtics in 4. I think they just got way too many pieces, and plus Brad Stevens, I think he's got the coaching edge. He's had plenty of playoff experience, so I think he'll find a way to win each game. And the Celtics are rolling right now, and they've been putting up tons of points. I think they put up 149 against the Nets. That was just one game, though.
No, that was against the Raptors.
Was it no, I thought it was the Nets.
No, it was the Raptors.
No, it doesn't matter. They're putting up, tons of points. I think they're just steamrolling everybody right now. I think it'll be a clean sweep.
With the Nets.
No.
Yeah, it was the Nets.
They put a ton against the Raptors, though.
Regardless, against anybody, 149 points, 149 points.
I mean, I think
that's still crazy.
I'm gonna go with the sweep, Celtics sweep.
You want the sweep?
Markieff Morris.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be clean sweep. It's not even because I don't.
122.
It's not even because I think that the 76ers are a bad team. I just think that Ben Simmons is always kind of that X factor kind of player for them because he's the one who feeds Embiid.
Yeah, nobody's going to get Embiid.
And he makes Embiid the player that he is because without him,
their starting point guard is now Shake Mason.
Milton.
Milton. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Who the hell is he?
Yeah. Shaq Mason.
Even
Mason. That's what we were trying to.
Even though I just made the team comparisons for.
I mean, like I think that Embiid, if he plays, I know he's like questionable or whatever. Is he out? I don't know what the whole.
No, he's probably going to be in for game 1.
Well, he won't be 100%.
Yeah,
though.
I still think he's going to dominate Daniel Tice. Don't get me wrong, but I think that Celtics can exploit them on like almost every other matchup except. When you talked about the other day.
Wait, hold on. Before we get to that, I know what you're going to talk about. That we're going to go over that in our matchup comparisons.
Are we doing all 5 positions?
Yeah, but give me a sec. I want to go over my player to watch. Robert Williams. He has been an absolute.
Oh God!
No, he has been. Stop. He's been on an absolute tear.
Brad Wanamaker has the highest free throw percentage in NBA history.
Tremont Waters is just so filthy.
No. Listen. This is
Green team can't trade
Robert Williams will come in and make a difference.
Javante Green, I swear to God.
But yeah, garbage time when we're up 40.
That dude can fly. I think he can put up some
He's
points.
gonna dunk on Embiid. You'll see. He's gonna break their spirits.
Shut up. This is serious.
All right.
Vincent Poirier. Listen.
Robert. No.
The big man matchup.
Shut up. In all. Yeah, we're not like we're next
Taco
to each other.
fall.
So I can punch you.
I think taco time will finally emerge.
No, shut up. In all seriousness, Robert Williams has been playing really
Brad
well. Oh my God. All right, no, like all seriousness, like Robert Williams has been playing really, really well lately, and I think he could actually come in and make a difference. Like whether it's his length and being able to block shots, or just catching lobs. Like he's a great lob catcher. Remember when we did our draft analysis for when they drafted him when we were Celtics Slam, and they called him the best lob catcher in the draft. So honestly, I think he can make a huge difference off pick and rolls and defense in the paint. Like overall, I think he's going to be a solid player in the series, especially when they're going to be going to the bench a lot when it's not that close.
No.
I play to watch. I'm going to pick Al Horford. You know, he's played on the Celtics previously, so I think he's going to know. He knows how
for them.
Yep.
Yeah, he knows the way Brad Stevens runs the games. You know, he's going to be able to pick apart like what they're doing offensively. He'll be able to tell, you know, his own team some of Brad's secrets. I feel, and he's just a solid veteran. You know, he's been around the game.
Mason.
I don't know. I'm not even saying my player yet, but I wanted to say something off what you said. I don't know if Al Horford's actually going to be able to do that because the Celtics play a little bit of a different style than they did with him. Because if you think about it, they ran Aaron Baines and him like when they were here, and now they play completely positionless basketball.
But no, what they're doing now, they switched it. So now Hayward's got. I was trying to explain this to you in our episode with the Hayward. Hayward is now in Horford's position. He's the one running the offense off the top of the key, like Horford used to do.
No, I get that.
So it's kind of the same idea, but now it's with different positions. It's positionless now.
It's positionless, so I think Horford's going to have a harder time guarding a guy like Gordon Hayward, who's going to be able to pop out to 3.
Yeah.
He's going to be able to cut inside and out.
No, I just think
Horford's not really that guy.
I'm taking Horford's mental game here. I'm not talking about like his physical.
I'm taking. I get you're saying playoff.
He's going to be able to feed into everything.
It's playoff out. I get it. No, I get it, but
he just knows how to play.
Who's your player to watch?
My player to watch is Gordon Hayward because I think he has the most even matchup in the series. And, you know, it's about him with Tobias Harris. I think that they're very even players. We've talked about this before.
We were talking about this the other day.
And another guy, I know we're only supposed to have one, but I think Daniel Tice as well because he's playing, you know, the hardest matchup in the series if Embiid plays, you know, all the games. But I think it's up to him to really try to slow down Embiid, which you can't stop him. It's kind of like Giannis where you say, like, you can try to contain him. But I think, you know, it's really up to him to show that, you know, he's a defensive talent because that's kind of why the Celtics brought him in. He was a defensive.
If you can keep Embiid,
he was the defensive player of the year in his league that he played over.
But if you can keep Embiid around like 20-ish, this is an easy series. This is just like
I don't think anyone else really
They're
can
not
exploit
enough
you.
pieces.
I mean,
Yeah.
you have Al. Al's the only one that otherwise.
Harris. No, we'll go into matchups now. So because I want to talk. So we'll go point guard. Obviously, we have the better point guard in Kemba Walker because Shake Milton is irrelevant.
I
But
don't even know who that is.
yeah, exactly.
I've heard of him like twice.
Jalen Brown is the better shooting guard. Jalen Brown is the better shooting guard against Josh Richardson. Josh Richardson's pretty good.
I like Josh Richardson.
Yeah,
He's a
but
good player.
he's not Jalen Brown caliber.
The only
But-
thing I could see,
and
not to interrupt
yeah.
you, the only thing I could see is if because Josh Richardson is very versatile. I could very well see if Al Horford's not playing well, if they take Al Horford out of the starting lineup, they move Tobias Harris to the 4, Josh Richardson to the 3, and they pull somebody up from
Yeah.
the bench to play the
But,
2.
yeah.
That would change things up a little
Thibault.
bit, but
It would be Matisse Thybulle. But no. If
that's
we-
the only thing I think.
Yeah,
would
but
be
I
different.
think we got and then we'll skip the Hayward Harris because that's the only real debate. Tatum, I'll take over Al Horford any day because Tatum
This
is
year
just so
specifically,
good.
Yeah.
And then Tice is obviously not as good as Embiid, but it'll be a really good matchup. But yeah, we'll go to the matchup we've been talking about a lot is Hayward versus Harris. Who's
yeah,
the
me and
better
you
player?
talked about this.
So I'll start like this debate by I think Harris is the better – I want to say he's the better player, but I would much rather have Hayward on my team just because of his IQ and his talent. I don't think Harris has the IQ that Hayward does, and Hayward has the ability to run our offense. Like Hayward
Well, he knows Brad's system.
and he kind of just like designates everything, and he's still scoring 17 points per game. May I remind you, as a 4th option, that's incredible.
I mean, Tobias is doing something really similar on that team.
But he's their like 2nd option.
Well, not really.
Now
You
he
have
is.
Embiid.
He's
Well,
like scoring like 20 a game.
I understand. I'm just
As-
talking about this season as a
yeah.
whole, not the bubble. I'm just saying in
Mhm.
general. I mean, I completely understand your argument with Gordon. If you're looking at overall, it's hard because Gordon's not even at full. I don't even know if Gordon's like really fully invested right now. He's worried about his wife with his
I
kid.
don't
and,
know.
like,
He's been playing really well.
no, I know that, but I'm just saying, like, even so, like, you don't even know if this is really the full version of him that you're supposed to be getting, which is even more of why
Which
I
is
still
actually
want
kinda
to.
scary.
No, that's why I'm leaning towards Hayward.
Yeah.
But I still really like Tobias Harris. I've always really liked the way he plays,
Yeah.
especially even when he was in Detroit, when he was in Orlando, and then the other was it last year when he was the year before
It's Clippers.
when he was on the Clippers, and
He's
he was
killing it.
he was almost an all-star. And people said he should have been. He was really, really good.
Yeah.
That specific like run that he had there before he was traded, he was really, really good that year. That's what earned him that contract that he got this offseason. That 5 years, 180 something.
Yeah, I forget what it
Like
is.
I think he's a great player, but I just think Gordon fits what the Celtics are doing more than what Tobias fits for the 76ers. So
I just think Gordon Hayward's, overall just a better player in everything pretty much. I think he can shoot better, play better defense. I think this year has really been a step up from his previous years with the Celtics. I think he's finally like completely back from his injury now, and I think he's just, flourishing in the system. And I think he's just in an overall better system than the Sixers, and I think that's the reason why he's just doing so much better.
Can I cut you off there? So,
Yeah.
so
No.
this is my thing with Hayward. People are always trying to say he's still not back to what he was. He is he is back to where he was. He's just now not the first. He was the first option on the Jazz, and that's why he was like scoring that much. He's a 4th option on the team, and scoring 17 points per game. Do you know how incredible that number is? That is insane. He's
I
playing
don't
with.
know.
He can play in any role.
He's playing with
he doesn't have to
arguably
be the
3
number one guy.
All-Stars. Like Brown should have been an All-Star. He's playing with 3 All-Stars, and he's scoring 17 points per game. And he's playing great defense.
I completely agree with you on
Great
one end,
playmaker,
but at the same
too.
time, I can't 100% say that he's back to where he was because I haven't seen him play as a number one option. You don't know what he would
He
do.
hasn't
in
had the
that-
chance.
Yeah,
No,
I
I
know.
know that. I know. I'm
He's
not-
making the
But
best of his
look how much he's
opportunity.
doing with a 4th
No, I
option
totally
opportunity.
agree with you.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with you. And I'm telling you, I think it would definitely translate, but you haven't actually seen it, so you can't say it like 100%. So I want to say it,
Yeah.
and I do agree with you, but like, I don't know. And it's not like I can expect for him to put up 25 a night because it's just not going to work. There's not enough shots.
I just don't think that's fair to say though, because he's just in a completely different environment.
No,
pretty
I know
much.
what you mean, but I'm just thinking
Where
like,
he was the only
I can't
option
compare
on the
him.
Jazz
I
team.
can't even compare him to Utah and what we wanted to get out of him from that because what we
I think we
expected.
got exactly
No,
what
Yeah.
because what we expected of him coming into the Celtics when we originally signed him was totally different than
Well,
what
because
we're
we
getting.
didn't think Tatum was
Yeah,
gonna
exactly.
be-
That's what I'm
and
saying.
Brown.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
now that they are, he's exactly what they
He's
want.
exactly what they need now. But if you're trying to compare him to what we thought he was going to
Honestly,
be
I
originally,
would rather keep him on his max contract just because of
we're not even getting into that.
But how important he's so important on that. He's so important to the system.
I understand, but I'm saying,
and I literally can't have a conversation with anybody who says that he's not, because if you don't think Hayward is that important to this team, you are literally know nothing about basketball.
should I leave?
Yes, you know nothing about basketball if you think Hayward is not important.
I didn't say he's not important.
He is vital to this deep playoff run.
That's gonna be funny when they don't bring him back after his contract ends. But
No, Brad will find a way.
no, I know.
Brad
Sure they'll bring him
will
back.
find a
Brad will find a way. He won't even have to pay him that much.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think. Yeah.
No, but all I'm trying to say is if you're comparing to like where he was when he was on the Jazz to where he is now, you can't even try and compare because what he was being asked to do is so different. So that, you know what I mean? Like, I get what you're saying, like he could handle that load, but what the Celtics are wanting from him now is so different that it's not even like, Hayward's what he was.
But when we need him to score, because nobody else is scoring, he does that. He steps up.
The only thing I would say is
he's consistent.
He might not
but
be
he's
as
consistent.
aggressive at the rim. But
No,
other than that,
yeah, no. But he's been like in the bubble. He's definitely been very aggressive at the rim. I've seen a lot of aggressive dunks and getting finishes with him. But if you think so, when he's been
it took Paul George like 4 years.
But
to
he's
back
very.
It took him like a half a season.
If you ask him,
it took him a half a season.
If you listen to him,
he's better now than he ever was.
I didn't say he was not better now.
But
I'm talking about if you actually ever listen to an
Oh my
interview, he talks about how long it took him to really fully get his confidence back.
Right,
so that leads me to have more confidence in Hayward because there's a chance he's not even back to where he thinks he was.
But Hayward, if you think about it, he's been extremely consistent at 17 points per game around there. But then when we need him to have more because Tatum's shot's not falling, Kemba's shot's not falling, somebody's injured, he's there and he's scoring 25, 30. He's scoring those points for us. Didn't he have 31 the other night?
I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's at all.
So we all agree that Gordon Hayward's got the edge on the matchup here. I'd say we can all agree.
I think Harris is a better player, but I would
I disagree with that.
Talent level, I think Harris is better, but I think I would much rather have Hayward's talent and IQ.
Go back.
Because I would rather.
You're telling me, hold on, I get what you're saying, but you're also saying Gordon Hayward is back to where he was. Mm-hmm. So you're saying Gordon Hayward at full potential where he was on the Jazz is not as good as Tobias Harris?
No, I don't think his talent is, but I think a lot of Hayward's game is his IQ. So, and I think in how smart of a player he is. So I think combined with his IQ, I would take him any day over Harris.
I think at full strength, Gordon's better than Harris. And overall, not just
overall. I said overall.
I'm talking about excluding IQ.
That's the only part I disagree with. I think Hayward's just overall much better than Tobias Harris.
I still think Tobias is good at this.
Yeah, no
knock on him. I just think Gordon Hayward's just like this much better.
Actually, no, I would say they're pretty. I think I have them equal because I think their skill levels are pretty much the same. But I think Hayward has the edge in IQ any day.
I think he has to step up in everything.
Yeah. All right.
Well, I think we're good. So thanks for watching. Make sure to go follow us on Instagram at @offbeat_sports. And thanks to Nolan for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Peace. Thanks for watching. Be sure to watch our other videos.
Be sure to like and subscribe.
Make sure to follow us on Instagram at @offbeat_sports.